Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Wilkinson of Empowered Life. I'm here with my great friend, Odie, and who I've just actually recently met this year. And I love that he's coming to us live from your incredible van out on a road trip touring. I'm a little bit jealous right now. But Odie's joining us to share a little bit about some of the incredible work that he's been doing with healing and health and wellness. So I'm going to just let you start, Odie, by telling us a little bit about what you're doing and what you're specializing in.
So yeah, my name's Odysseuss Andrianos. I go by Odie. My Instagram is Odie1Kenobi21. So basically shadow work and the work that I'm doing is years ago as a fitness coach, I was really successful, built 2 gyms and helped a lot of people get in shape and lose weight and all that stuff. I came to the realization that most people aren't struggling with diet and exercise. They're actually really struggling with their mental and emotional health. And that shows up externally as struggles with diet and exercise. So once I had that clarity and I started working more with people's emotions, I was actually teaching shadow work before I even knew what it was. But once I started helping other people to really create that clarity within themselves, then it was easier to exercise and eat healthy because they weren't repressing, suppressing, and denying emotions. And in doing that, like I said, it made things a lot easier for people to actually show up authentically and become their best selves and really love themselves at the end of the day is what this is really all about.
I love that. And I couldn't agree with you more on everything that you just said. It's so exciting. So you're doing a lot of shadow work with people. What was it that really got you into that?
So essentially, kind of how I said, it was like my coaching practice. I would have 2 people doing the same fitness program. And I had multiple certifications, got my degree in kinesiology. I worked at 18 gyms. I really knew how to teach fitness well, but I have 2 people doing the same fitness program. And some people take off and get great results and other people wouldn't. So I started digging deeper. I'm like, well, first I blamed myself. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with my program? And then I was like, wait a second. I started digging deeper into like, what's the real thing holding people back? And that's emotions. And it's the repressed, suppressed, and denied emotions. And that's essentially what shadow work is. And like something you talk about, Cam, and I know you're doing Gabor Mate's work too, who's phenomenal, is that when we have childhood experiences, we have trauma as a child, we actually suppress, repress, and deny our emotions. An example for a lot of males, and it happens to women too, is anger. And like we're told, like, oh, Johnny, don't be angry. We can't have that anger around here. So you, in order to receive love, you repress your anger so you can show up and receive the love that you feel like you deserve, and you do deserve it. But the more you suppress that anger, it actually shows up and comes out in kind of ugly ways. When we talk about from an Eastern perspective, one thing I'll talk about is blending Taoist healing with shadow work, is that it shows up as our demons, not like some scary oogly boogly demon, but those repressed emotions start running our lives unconsciously. And that's what we're talking about with shadow work. It's making the unconscious conscious. It's those repressed aspects of ourselves, our anger, our guilt, our shame, our grief, our sadness. And the more we suppress those emotions, and Gabor Mate talks about this too, is that the more we suppress those emotions, especially the adverse childhood events, it actually gets into our physical body. And this is where I'm actually blending shadow work with Eastern philosophy of Taoist healing principles, because the more we suppress those emotions, it actually shows up in certain organs. Just to give you an example, anger gets suppressed and it shows up in our liver. Grief shows up in our lungs. Joy or lack thereof shows up in our heart. And so different organs are associated with different emotions and also different elements. And the more we suppress those emotions, this is actually what's causing a lot of disease in the world, because we're suppressing our emotions. Most Western doctors aren't talking about this. They say, well, emotions, that's not really the problem. And they just give you drugs. You go to a talk therapist, you just talk about things. But that's not actually getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is essentially the cause that's creating the effect. Most doctors are just working with effects. And like, it's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, but the long-term effects of that is you're not really going to heal. It's not till we actually dig into the root, find the cause, pull that cause out and examine it, is when we actually get to heal ourselves. So what I say when I teach shadow work is I hand people a shovel, teach them where to dig, how to dig, and what's going to come up when they're digging. But the digging they must do themselves. And 90% of the shadow is pure gold. It's just that 10% of darkness that being a coach like you do and what I do is holding people accountable to doing the work to sift through that 10% of darkness to access their gold, because you're holding back all this emotional energy, suppressing it, and then you access it, you do shadow work, and you integrate your shadow, and then you awaken your shadow. And for some people, they actually love themselves for the very first time. And that's what I love about teaching this work. And it's similar to what you're doing, but just a little bit different angle of what we're talking about. You get what I'm saying?
I totally do. And that's why we connect so well, I think, because we just have that same understanding, that same vision and passion too. And I can definitely agree, just even from my own experiences. I mean, I didn't always do this work, and I was very much that unconscious person and often sick. And you're right, it's digging and doing the work, and keep doing the work, and consistency, I'm sure you'll agree, is key, right? We can dig down and work through a whole bunch of stuff, but there's always more, because new things happen, right? So I love that. I'm super excited. You've got some new programs coming out, I think. Anything you want to give a little sneak peek out about there?
So like I mean, I've been teaching shadow work for about 3 or 4 years, and like just to kind of take a step back to that is like I was working with a teenager who was on suicide watch. I coached her mom for a couple of years, gave her great results, and then she was like, "Oh, I'd love you to work with my daughter." And I was just testing out the program that I'm teaching now, and I worked with her. Within a month, she texted me one day and said she was still alive because of the work that I did with her, and that was a big shift for me. I was like, "Why am I still teaching fitness when there's so much deeper stuff that I should be teaching in this world?" And that's actually what kind of manifested the shift within me. And with that said, I'm launching my first group program. I've been teaching group coaching for like 15 years, but I'm launching my first group program on October 6th, meeting on Wednesdays for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And a lot of the people that I work with are mothers who don't want to pass their trauma on to their kids, or coaches who are just getting in the coaching industry and want to have more tools on their tool belt to support themselves and work with people and go deeper. Because a lot of people are teaching some aspect of shadow work, but the main thing is in giving people the clarity to become their own healer. That's really essentially my goal, is to build a tribe of healers, blending shadow work, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's like reprogramming the mind, and then Taoist healing principles, because I really feel like we're taking too many drugs, too many opiates. People are suppressing their emotions. And if you need to do that for a short period of time, it makes sense. But long term, we need to learn to become our own healers. And I feel like that's essentially the work that you and I are doing in our own ways. It's really about holding space for people and holding them accountable to doing the work. So doing the weekly meetups allows people to share what's coming up for them. And I'm going to be sharing with them different tools, breath work, meditation practices, different mindset exercises, so they can heal themselves. And then they go out, and a lot of these coaches, they're going to build their own coaching program so they can reach more people with these messages and these tools that we're talking about.
I love it. And it's so needed in our world right now, like you said, right? We kind of get a glimpse of it, whether we're working with someone or family. And I think everybody can probably say, either directly or indirectly, they have a family member who struggles with some sort of mental health or emotional health concerns. It's everywhere in the world right now. And it's so great. Now, your stuff will be available online as well as in person?
Yeah, so I actually have a full video course that's a do-it-yourself course too. So if you contact me at odysseymentorship.com, or you can look me up on Facebook, Odysseus Andrianos, or as I mentioned on Instagram, Obi-Wan Kenobi, my Star Wars name, Obi-Wan Kenobi 21. And you can get access to my video course. I'm doing the group course. You can also work with me one-on-one. And then I'm starting to do, which I'm really excited about, is doing mini retreats where I do like one-on-one or a small group, and I have my really cool camper van, and I go camping with people, and we just do like a deep dive for like 2 nights camping together. And I'm really juiced about doing that, because I used to run my 2 gyms. I miss giving my clients hugs when I work with them. So I love being able to reach people anywhere in the world, but I look forward to doing some more in-person stuff too. And my long-term goal is to build my own retreat center in a few years. And that's why I'm traveling right now, to explore different parts of the country.
That is so great. And that connection is so important too, whether it is online or in person. So I'm so excited. And I'm super excited that you're also joining the Empowered Life team of facilitators and helping me. And I'm looking forward to helping you and learning from you as well. So thank you so much for sharing everything. I'm really excited for you and for all the work that we're all doing. So for those of you watching, if you're not connected with Odie on Facebook, connect with him, follow him. He's got some really great pictures from his trip along the way. And then you'll get all of the great content that he's going to releasing very soon about the new programs. So thank you so much for your time and for sharing in your passion and all the work that you're doing. It's so needed and so wonderful and appreciated. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your travels. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you so much. And I had one last point I wanted to share with shadow work that I forgot about, is the end goal of shadow work is that once you integrate your shadow and do this work, the most beautiful thing is you begin to recognize when other people are projecting their shadow into you. So when you heal yourself, it allows you to heal other people because you don't get as triggered. And that, like, I talked to one of my other fellow clients slash friends slash coach who does coaching, and she said that now her relationship with her mother is so much better because she doesn't get triggered, and that like touched my heart. That's like, this is why I do this, because once you heal yourself, you heal everybody around you. So I just want to share that last little point. But yeah, check me out. I'd love to jump on a call with anybody and talk about this stuff. I could talk for days. I love talking about shadow work and healing. This really is the next generation of coaching, and it's blowing up. If you're looking to be a coach, join the tribe. It's time to build a tribe of healers and heal the planet. And just as Ram Dass says, we're just walking each other home.
Totally. Thank you so much. And thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you.
Toodaloo.